Paulina, what are we going to do about this?
Well, I can tell you that word on the street in the conference is that there is going to be potentially later on this week an introduction of a privilege motion to impeach the president. And I bring that up because it's a different parliamentary procedure. But what it does is upon introduction of the motion, once the member calls it forward, then it forces a vote within 2 days. So whether or not there are people trying to run interference for this president, the fact is exactly like you'd stated earlier, exactly as we heard Representative Ogles say today with the articles of impeachment, and so many members have called for before. We have the evidence. The fact is the FBI has stonewalled us. They're trying to protect this administration. But Jessi, what I have seen, what members of oversight have seen, and what the American people deserve to know is that this is a definitely compromised president. And what he's doing is he's selling his position and thus selling out the country. So we have to hold him accountable. It's not tit for tat. It has nothing to do with President Trump and everything to do with public corruption.
So you're saying that next week, possibly, the House is going to vote on whether to move forward with impeachment?
What I am saying is that there is a member, it is not me, it is a female member of Congress that is going to bring forward a privilege motion to impeach the president. That is correct. Whether it's going to be done before we leave or whether it's going to be done at the start of next week, it will happen. And that's not the only thing, Jessi. As you saw, the FBI is playing games. As you know, even if we do a contempt of Congress, it's likely that the DOJ would not actually hold the FBI director accountable. But what we can do as Congress is we can officially defund the director's position, and that's something that we're also looking at doing via the Holman Rule.
Does that mean he doesn't get paid his salary?
That means we've effectively eliminated his salary and thus his position, yes.
Oh, well, that might be hard for him to eat. And I wonder if he changes his tune once you threaten to defund his salary. That seems to be the only thing really making him do anything. If you do go forward with impeachment, Congresswoman, what kind of subpoena power do you guys get? Can you go after the bank records like this? Can you bring in witnesses quickly?
Absolutely. In fact, the House would launch the initial phase of it, and then we would hand over the actual vote for trial to the Senate, but it would force Senate to do just that. I know because I was actually researching this over the weekend. But the fact is that exactly like you're seeing the FBI, I mean, we shouldn't have to threaten the director of the FBI with anything to get answers. And I do believe that the DOJ and the FBI will continue to cover. So the only way to effectively run an investigation is for either House Judiciary or House Oversight to collaborate, conduct the impeachment, and then thus give the information over to Senate and put people like Ted Cruz, bring out the junkyard dogs and let them have at it, because the American people deserve better.
One of our best reporters here, Hillary Vaughn at Fox down in D.C., asked a lot of members of Congress about Joe Biden and the age factor and the mental factor. Listen to this.
Really quick question, if I could. Are you worried that President Biden's health his age may be finally catching up to him?
No.
Are you worried about his stamina, that he would be able to serve a full second term if he were reelected?
Same answer.
He says it best, judge me by my performance. We all take a few tumbles. They're not all televised because we're not president, but I do think, judge him by his performance, and that's the best measurement. And, he keeps rising to the occasion. He
had to take off work for a root canal. Do you think he has the stamina for a second term?
Have you ever had a root canal?
President Biden is strong. He exercises. He rides his bike. He's sharp mentally. And the number one thing, he has a great team around him and great Democrats across the country to help him out and hold him down.
Do you think that President Biden's age has finally caught up to him at all?
Absolutely not. I think the president is great. I'm proud to be supporting him, and I don't even know why you asked that question.
Do you think he has the stamina to finish a second term if he were?
Yes, I do, and please don't bother me with such frivolity, okay?
No, please don't bother me. I'm sure Republican members of Congress are never bothered by reporters at all. So, Congresswoman, you have a corruption situation here. You have a mental and physical fitness situation here. How vulnerable is Joe Biden politically right now?
I think he's very vulnerable, which is exactly why they're so worried about not only having debates with the other Democrat primary candidates, but also worried about a third party candidate. And Jessi, I would actually even go out on a limb to say that I think that the Democrat Party anticipated this. As you know, the Hunter Biden laptop stuff was not just something that was quietly done. A lot of people, there's a lot of eyes and ears always. And so I think that Gavin Newsom, especially with the rhetoric that he's been really spewing lately, I think that he might kind of slide in as the last minute Democrat nominee, to be honest with you.
You think Gavin's warming up in the bullpen? I think
he's trying.
I think you might be right about